Jyoti Aravinda. So last class we did the first 6 Surya mantras, those of you who were present. Today we'll go ahead and do the latter 12. For those of you who don't know, in yoga we have 12 Surya mantras to describe the different attributes of the sun in the sky. But there's a deep truth in the Vedantic thought that as is the macrocosm, the larger universe, so is the microcosm. In Sanskrit we say yatha brahmande tatha pinde. So whatever is true for the sun in the sky is true for the sun inside us. In fact, the Vedas say sa eka, they are one, the sun in the sky, and it's something that our rational mind can't wrap itself around. In fact, this whole concept of oneness, our rational mind can't get it, because in appearance everything is so discrete, so separate. How can it all be one? So Vedanta talks about two kinds of intelligence: the sthul buddhi, the rational mind, and the sukshma buddhi, the subtle, the intuitive intelligence. So the Vedas can only speak to your sukshma buddhi, your subtle intelligence, your intuitive intelligence. To the rational thinking mind, this sounds like gibberish, but whenever you hear a thought from the Vedas, two things will happen. Your rational mind will say, how can it be? But something inside will intuit its truth and want to hear more. Something inside will recognize a truth in it and be solaced by it, even as your rational mind will keep saying, how can it be? So here, put aside your rational mind. Don't believe, don't disbelieve, but just listen with attention. Your inner wisdom will do the rest of the work. That's how I'd ask you to approach any of these classes. Just be open-minded. And when the mind keeps saying, how can it be, how can it be, just put that aside for now. Yeah? So in the Vedas also, the normal human state of being is referred to as the night, because it's the night of ignorance. And the sun and daylight are symbolic of truth consciousness, of awakening to a reality beyond what the thinking mind recognizes and sees. Okay? So now we come to words of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. So I think these are from Savitri only, but I haven't put the page number, I should have. Anyway, the lines are, our early approaches to the infinite are sunrise splendors on a marvelous verge, while lingers yet unseen the glorious sun. So our early approaches to the infinite are our reaching out for spirituality in whatever way we can. And they are sunrise splendors. It's like the sun hasn't risen, it's just the first rays are coming out, and yet it's so beautiful. And how beautiful it becomes when the sun fully rises. So our early approaches to the infinite, whatever little joy, whatever little peace we feel, are sunrise splendors on a marvelous verge, the verge where night is going to become day, where our mortal ignorance is going to change into the spiritual truth. That's the verge. Our sunrise splendors on a marvelous verge, while lingers yet unseen the glorious sun. So Sri Aurobindo writes that if man could once glimpse the absolute delight of the spiritual treasures that await him, he would leave everything and want nothing but that. But because we haven't seen it, and sometimes we can't believe it exists, we are so carried away by the world and what it has to give us. But he says if man could once glimpse sunrise splendors, just that one little sunrise splendor, he would leave everything and want nothing else. So now we continue words from Savitri, page 661. The mighty mother sits in lucent, a peaceful shining calm, and holds the eternal child upon her knees, attending the day when he shall speak to fate. So Savitri, for me at least, is the highest Veda in itself, and the way we read Vedas with our intuitive intelligence rather than the rational thinking mind, that's how Savitri also has to be approached. It's for just the way the Vedic writing are full of symbols, which if you just look at the face value, sometimes they don't make too much sense. Savitri also is full of symbols. When he's saying the mighty mother sits in lucent calm with the child upon her lap, the child always refers to the psychic being, the portion of the mother inside us. The Vedas say that in a thumb-shaped region within the human heart, there's a portion of the divine. In Savitri, there's a beautiful passage. We won't go into it today, but the mother feels the pain and all the things that her children have to go through. So to equip them in the struggle, she puts forth a portion of herself, a region no bigger than the thumb of man in the human heart. So that psychic being is the child sitting forever on the mother's lap. So the mighty mother sits in lucent calm and holds the eternal child upon her knees, attending the day when he shall speak to fate. What a beautiful line. Just contemplate it, see what comes to you. What could this mean? The mother is attending the day when her child shall speak to fate. What does this mean? No answers are wrong. Please answer. What do you think it could mean? You want to say something? When will her child speak to fate?
Fate is the child's destiny. So when he knows his destiny and can shape his destiny.
Shape his destiny. So long as we are living from the mental plane, actually we have no free will. We are puppets in the hands of nature. Free will is an illusion. Free will comes to the extent that we have access to that within us which is more powerful than fate. When that steps in, then we can change fate, then we can change our destiny. If something is decreed by the laws of karma, it will be decreed till grace intervenes, and the greatest source of grace is within us. It's within our heart, right? It's in the psychic being. So the moment that psychic being steps forward, the laws of karma and fate no longer apply to us, or will apply to us less, will apply to us in proportion to how much access we have to the psychic being. So the mother is nursing the child, the psychic being, till it comes to the front, and then everything changes, and that's the most crucial step in human evolution. When we stop functioning from our minds and we function from the sun within. See, the psychic being is the sun within. It's often referred to as the child. Symbolically, it has many symbols, but all mean the same thing. So, the mighty mother sits in lucent calm and holds the eternal child upon her knees, attending the day when he shall speak to fate. There, in that image of the mother being nursed, of the child being nursed on the mother's knees, there is the image of our future's hope. There is the sun for which all darkness waits. Darkness, as I said, is mortal ignorance. It's waiting for the sun within to rise and be delivered, for the darkness to be delivered. there is the imperishable harmony. The human state of extreme disharmony that we are living in is because the mind is cultivated to its highest, and intellect is useful, but it's limited. It sees only one point of view. It's incapable of seeing the larger harmony behind everything. So the more we become mental creatures, mentalized, the more we live in our thought and its logic, the more we'll move towards disharmony and discord, because I've said it so many times that every mind is a universe unto itself, and there are as many universes as there are minds, isn't it? None of us are living in the same universe. Each of us is perceiving a universe according to the conditioning of our mind. And if we live only in the mind, we become rigid in thinking ours is the only universe. And the laws that are applicable in our universe are the only laws that are there. We cannot accommodate laws of another universe, laws of another mind which it's living in its own universe, isn't it? But the sun within us, the psychic being, is that point of oneness where all universes are harmonized into one truth. Each mind will have its own truth, distinct from the truth of another mind. But there is one ultimate truth for which there is no relative, there is no subjectivity. The mind's truths are partial and subjective. But the truth of the psychic being has no subjectivity. It is absolute, it is one, it is harmonious. So when we all start living, or at least getting in touch with that, then there is real harmony. So there is the sun for which all darkness waits. There is the imperishable, indestructible harmony. The world's contradictions climb to her and are one. Here her could be the Divine Mother, the truth. The world's contradiction, all are climbing to her and are one. There is the truth of which the world's truths are shreds. That's what I just said. The world's truths are truths of our mind. They are shreds, they are sky strips. Remember, we did one class where in Savitri it was said that each mind cuts the sky into sky strips and thinks that that strip is the whole sky, but it's not so. So there is the truth for which the world's truths are shreds, sky strips, the light of which the world's ignorance is the shade. Till truth draws back the shade that it has cast, the love our hearts call down to heal all strife, the bliss for which the world's derelict sorrow yearns. How beautiful the way he uses adjectives. The bliss for which the world's derelict sorrow yearns. Thence comes the glory sometimes seen on earth. From where comes the glory? From the sun within. Thence comes the glory sometimes seen on earth. The visits of Godhead to the human soul. The Godhead is the sun within, the psychic being within. And sometimes we feel it visiting our emotions, our thoughts. The visits of Godhead to the human soul. The beauty and dream on nature's face. So this morning in our yoga class, we were exploring nature, right? And we were exploring how the most powerful way to come to stillness is to just be in nature, because nature doesn't have a mind, right? It doesn't think. It senses, but without the agency of thought. So there's a field of stillness in nature. All the elements are in perfect balance. And when we are with nature, our elements also come into balance. And this psychic element is very pronounced in nature. In man, it's kind of disrupted and corrupted because we think so much. but nothing in nature thinks, so it has this natural field of stillness. So that's why it said the visits of Godhead to the human soul, the beauty and dream on nature's face. This is so naturally expressed in nature because there's no corruption of thought. It's a beautiful passage. I'll just read it without explanation. Try and make sense of it through your heart, never through your mind. Savitri cannot be read by the mind. A good mind helps you to receive it better. I won't say no, but it has to be aided by the heart intelligence. The mighty mother sits in lucent calm and holds the eternal child upon her knees, attending the day when he shall speak to fate. There is the image of our future's hope. There is the sun for which all our darkness waits. There is the imperishable harmony. The world's contradictions climb to her and are one. There is the truth of which the world's truths are shreds. The light of which the world's ignorance is the shade, till truth draws back the shade that it has cast. The love our hearts call down to heal all strife, the bliss for which the world's derelict sorrows yearn. Thence comes the glory sometimes seen on earth, the visits of Godhead to the human soul, the beauty and the dream on nature's face. Oh, these are gorgeous words by Sri Aurobindo on Agni. Now, Agni is the fire, which is the psychic flame. The Agni, which is the psychic element or the God element present in all things. Okay? So, he titles it Agni, the keeper of the eternal truth. He says, the external appearance of the world is different. Their falsehood, ignorance, evil and failure are predominant. However, behind the mask which frightens the child, the mother's face is hidden. So beautiful. The external appearance of the world is like a mask. It can seem, I'm not liking life, this is threatening me, that is appearing wrong. But behind the mask which frightens the child, the mother's face is hidden. Inconscience, inertia and suffering are only sorceries, magic. It's an illusion. Inertia, suffering, inconscience, it's just an illusion. That is why in the Veda, our normal consciousness is called the night, what I was telling you. So right now we feel we are in daylights, but the Vedic rishis would say that the normal consciousness is night. It's the night of consciousness, right? We are not really living in the truth. We are so convinced that we are all discrete, separate. We have to fend for each other. We have to survive. But that is the ignorance. There's an underlying unity, light and bliss that connects everything, and that is the hidden sun. That is the mother behind the mask. That is why in the Veda, a normal consciousness is called night. Even the highest development of our intellect is only a moonlit and star bedecked play of the divine night. Yeah, even the highest development of our intellect is only a moonlit. See, the moon is a reflector of the sun, right? So moon does light the night, but not as brightly as the sun. It's a partial illumination. The illumination of our mind is like a moonlit illumination compared to the sun of the soul. But within the bosom of this night hides her sister Usha. Usha is the Vedic goddess of dawn. But within the bosom of this night hides her sister Usha. Look at his play of words. The goddess of dawn is the sister of the night goddess. They are not separate. Even contraries have a relationship with each other. They are not discrete. But within the bosom of this night hides her sister Usha, carrying the infinity born light of future divine knowledge. Even in the night of earth consciousness, the force of Agni blazes again and again. With the glow of Usha radiates the light. So I said this even last time, Sri Aurobindo is very clear that darkness doesn't exist. He says that darkness is just a limitation of your senses. Because your senses can't perceive the light which is actually there in the darkness, you call it dark. Like I give you this metaphor that there was a patch in interstellar space which scientists thought was completely devoid of light, no luminous bodies there. But with the discovery of the Hubble telescope, a high resolution telescope, they saw it was teeming with light bodies. Apply this to your light. Maybe there are areas of your light which you feel are very dark, which you feel are meaningless. Why is this happening? This shouldn't happen. But there is a hidden purpose in the darkness. There is a light guiding the darkness. So Sri Aurobindo writes in Savitri, darkness, a magic of self-hidden light. Light hides itself in darkness, self-hidden for its own purposes. But there is really no darkness. There is light in everything that you call darkness. So it can't be dark. But because your senses can't see it, you feel it's dark. Even in the night of earth consciousness, the force of Agni blazes again and again with the glow of Usha, radiates the light. It is the force of Agni which prepares the hour of the birth of truth conscious Usha in this blind world. The Supreme has sent the force of Agni into this world and established it there, remaining concealed in the heart of objects and living beings. Agni regulates all the movements of the universe. Agni here represents the psychic spark, the divine spark present everywhere. In the midst of the momentary falsehood, this Agni is the keeper of the eternal truth. Such a beautiful sentence. In the midst of momentary falsehood, all falsehood and darkness is transient, but truth is eternal. So in the midst of momentary falsehood, this Agni is the keeper of eternal truth. So there were those, we'll come to those lines actually from Savitri, so I won't say them now. In the inconscient and the inert, Agni is the secret consciousness of the inconscient, the formidable dynamic force of matter. So Mother, in one of her visions, when she went deep into the inconscient is that spectrum of consciousness which is very, very unconscious. And it's universal. You can't say, it's not like the Freud's my subconscious and your subconscious. Inconscient is universal. Just the way the light is all pervading, unconsciousness is also all pervading. And once when she was, and Mother and Sri Aurobindo did a lot of work to go deep into the inconscient and bring light there. So there's a line in Savitri, in the core of darkness she dug wells of light. Like core of darkness, Mother's digging wells of light. So once when she was doing this work in the subconscient, she saw a being deep, fast asleep, full of diamond white light. And she says, so it's true that darkness doesn't exist. I mean, the deepest darkness in consciousness is the inconscient. And even at the heart of the inconscient, she saw this radiant being asleep, waiting for his hour to wake. No, we read those lines. The Divine Mother nurses the child, waiting for the hour when he'll speak to fate. So, the Supreme has sent the force of Agni into this world and established it there, remaining concealed in the heart of objects and living beings. Not only living beings, even the wood, everything has this psychic spark. In the midst of momentary falsehood, this Agni is the keeper of eternal truth. Shrouded in ignorance, Agni is the covert, hidden knowledge of the divine. In the ugliness of sin, Agni is the pristine, immaculate purity of so beautiful. Shrouded, a shroud is a cloth you put on a dead body, right? When we are ignorant, we are dead to life. So, shrouded in ignorance, Agni is the hidden knowledge of the divine. In the ugliest sin, Agni is the pristine, immaculate purity of the divine. So, it's so beautiful. It's saying that nothing doesn't contain Agni. The worst sinner also has the purity of Agni in him. So, whatever you've done, life always gives you the chance to turn around and get enlightened. Agni is the pristine, immaculate purity of the divine. In the gloomy fog of misery and suffering, so even when I'm overcome by a gloomy fog of misery and suffering, I still have this Agni inside me, and that's my lifeline. Agni is his burning delight of universal enjoyment. His is the divine's. Clad in soiled rags of weakness and torpor, Agni is his all-bearing, all-accomplishing, efficient power of action. So in Savitri, there are those beautiful lines. Garbed in a beggar's robe, asking a scanty dole from fate, there walks the one. So each of us is that. We are wearing a beggar's robe. We are asking fate, do this for me, do that for me. I'm on tenterhooks all the time. But wearing the garb of a beggar, asking a scanty dole from fate, there walks the one with a capital O. If we can once pierce this dark envelope, uncover and kindle this Agni in our hearts, Agni is the psychic flame in our hearts, release and direct him upwards, he will bring down divine Usha. Who is Usha? The goddess of dawn. So, see, the sun is also made up of Agni, right? It's fire. So, it's like when like calls to like, there's a response. The psychic being is the sun or the fire or the aspiration within us which calls to the sun of truth consciousness. It's the element of the sun inside us. If we can once pierce this dark envelope, uncover and kindle this Agni in our hearts, release and direct him upwards, he will bring down divine Usha into the human consciousness, awaken the inner gods, remove the black sheath of falsehood, ignorance, sorrow and failure, and make us immortal and divine in nature. Immortal as in, maybe this body will die, but we will live with a sense of immortality. We are so afraid of everything that happens to this body because we are so identified with this body. But who we really are exceeds the body. So when we The first thing mother says when you connect with your psychic, you get a sense of being eternal, a sense of always being, and you lose the fear of death. Okay, now we did the first 6 Surya mantras last class. Now we come to the 7th Surya mantra, Om. It's not been printed in the PDF, but Om Hiranya Garbhaya Nama. Hiranya is golden, Garbha is womb. So the sun is like a golden womb around the earth, a womb of protection. And what's true for the sun outside is true for the sun inside. The sun inside me, or the divinity inside me, protects me in ways that I don't know. So the sun outside, we do know, right? If you put anything in the sun, the germs die, right? So I was thinking it would be an interesting experiment if we have an infection anywhere in our body and we just twin with the sun and for 12 minutes say Om Hiranya Garbhaya Nama. So since I had this thought, I haven't had an infection, but I'm waiting to experiment with it. If any of you have an infection, you should try it, because these Surya mantras are so very powerful. When we do them in our yoga class, so many people say they have headaches or some illness or some ache and pain, and just chanting it and the aches and pains go away, because they are very physical. The sun is so connected to the earth that it's very physical. So if any of you have any infection, do try it. It would be very interesting too. And sit in the sun and do it in the morning sun, and just stay with Om Hiranya Garbhaya Nama, the protector who defends you against germs, defends you against anything at all. So now lines from Savitri, but this is page 482 of Savitri, but there is a guardian power. So in the preceding lines to this, Sri Aurobindo describes the chaos that the world is, how everything appears to be going to the dogs. And he says, but, a very big and important but there is a guardian power. There are hands that save. Calm eyes divine regard the human scene. So there is something watching, protecting, putting speed breakers, putting a halt to how bad things can go. Now this is page 59 of Savitri. Gorgeous words. Yet a spiritual secret aid is there. He's assuring us again and again, don't feel lost. A spiritual secret, you're not aware of it because maybe you don't have the sensibilities to recognize it, but it's there. Yet a spiritual secret aid is there. While a tardy, slow moving, evolution's coils wind on, I'm progressing so slowly, I'm evolving so slowly. So while a tardy evolution's coils wind on, and nature hews her way through adamant. So sometimes Prakriti is so adamant on spelling doom and doing things which aren't pleasant to my seeing. While a tardy evolution's coils wind on, and nature hews her way through adamant, a divine intervention thrones above. There is a constant divine intervention stopping how terrible the terrible can get. Alive in a dead rotating universe, we whirl not here upon a casual globe. This is not a random globe. Everything, see, cosmos is not chaotic. There is a perfect order to the apparent chaos in the cosmos. So alive in a dead rotating universe, we whirl not here upon a casual globe, abandoned to a task beyond our force. Sometimes life seems like a task beyond our force. Dealing with our emotions seems like a task beyond our force. But we whirl not here upon a casual globe, abandoned to a task beyond our force. Even through the tangled anarchy, anarchy is chaos, all confused, jumbled up, anarchy called fate, and through the bitterness of death and fall, an outstretched hand is felt upon our lives. The Hiranyagarbha, the protecting womb, the outstretched hand is felt upon our lives. It is near us in unnumbered bodies and births. We may have unnumbered births on earth, but in each birth, this outstretched hand is felt upon our life. In its unslackening grasp, a grasp which never loosens, it's holding us in an unslackening grasp. In its unslackening grasp, it keeps for us safe the one inevitable supreme result. No will can take away and no doom change. The crown of conscious immortality. The crown of conscious immortality is our psychic being, discovering it. We are immortal, but we are not conscious of it. So conscious immortality is coming to our psychic being, coming to the truth of God inside us. So in every lifetime, each birth is designed to take us through that truth. And birth to birth, in its unslackening grasp, that outstretched hand is keeping for us safe this goal towards which we will come. So there's a very beautiful story. Once there was Jnani and a Bhakta together, and Narad Muni happened to pass. And Narad was known to visit Vishnu. So they told him, when you meet the Lord, will you ask him when we will see him? I mean, in the story, for our purposes, it's seeing the Lord is coming, getting in touch with our own psychic being, because the Lord is inside us. So Narad goes, and when he comes back, first the Jnani rises up and enthusiastically asks Narad, what did the Lord say? So Narad said, for you, he said, you will take at least 3 more lifetimes before you find the Lord. And the Jnani was very dejected, because he thought, I've done so much tapasya, maybe he was expecting an answer in a few years or just before you die. So he was crestfallen. Then the Bhakta came and he asked, what did the Lord say for me? So Narad says, do you see how many leaves there are on that tree? So he said, well, my guess is many hundreds. So the Lord says that you will take that many lifetimes to see the Lord. And the Bhakta starts dancing in joy. So the Jnani looks at him and says, what's wrong with you? 3 lifetimes was too much for me, and you're dancing like this when you're so far away. So the Bhakta said, at least the Lord has assured me that I will see him. I don't care how many lifetimes and years go. But if the Lord has said I'll come to him, it's my assurance. But that assurance is given to each of us. And that's what this lines in Savitri says. In its unslackening grasp, it keeps for us safe the one supreme inevitable result, which no will can change, no doom can take away, the crown of conscious immortality. The Godhead promised to us struggling souls when first man's heart dared death and suffered life. One who has shaped this world is ever its Lord. One who has made this world has absolute control, is ever its Lord. Our errors are his steps upon the way. Because he is the Lord, he is the Antaryami, the inner controller. He is inside everything, controlling everything. So he is inside our errors also. Through our errors also we find him. Our errors are His steps upon the way. He works through the fierce vicissitudes of our lives, through all the roller coasters of our lives. He works through the hard breath of battle and toil. So, every experience of life, this Agni or the psychic fire uses to take us forward. He means the psychic within everything. He works through the fierce vicissitudes of our lives. He works through the hard breath of battle and toil. He works through our sins and sorrows and our tears. His knowledge overrules our nescience. Nescience is our ignorance. So if I don't know, it's fine. He knows. I'm safe in that. So His knowledge overrules our nescience. Whatever the appearance we must bear, whatever the appearance of life that we must bear, whatever our strong ills and present fate, when nothing we can see but drift and bail, a mighty guidance leads us still through all. So whatever the appearance of life, when we feel lost and abandoned, even then, a mighty guidance leads us still through all. After we have served this great divided world, God's bliss and oneness are our inborn right. After we've gone through all the experience, it's our right to God. Again and again, Sri Aurobindo reminds us that God is our birthright. Somewhere else in Savitri, he beautifully writes, love is man's lien on the absolute. Lien is right. I love you, so I have a right to you. Whatever else are my pitfalls, my mistakes, my shortcomings, if I love you, you've given me the right to you. So that's what he's saying. God's bliss and oneness are our inborn right. So let's do this mantra. Om Hiranya Garbhaya Namah. So shut your eyes and visualize the sun like a golden womb all around earth. And the sun in my heart is one with that sun in the sky. The sun in my heart, the mother's presence, like a golden womb all around me, all around my loved ones, all around things that I feel scared or threatened about, and feeling that sense of protection, protected by the mightiest force in the world, the divine. The mother once said, with my name in your heart, you can go into the mouth of death and nobody will touch one hair on your head. So that sense of deep, deep protection as we chant it. Gratitude to the mother for all the different ways in which she's already protected us from so many things. Hiranyagarbhaya Namah. Hiranyagarbhaya Namah. Hiranyagarbhaya Namah. And then a japa without sound, just feeling the sun in your heart and repeating it, invoking that sense of feeling protected and gratitude for it. And we continue. The next Surya mantra is Om Marichaye Nama. Marich means a single ray of light. Like Matri Mandir, there is that single ray of sunlight falling on the crystal and lighting up everything. So the symbolism of Matri Mandir is that that central crystal is a psychic being which is completely transparent to light. And of course the lotus pond below is the Mooladhar, so the light has to go all the way down. And Marich means that first ray of sun. It's all dark, and just before dawn the sun gives out one single ray of light, paves its way through darkness, and then the whole sky lights up. So Marich is that first touch of the divine which opens doors within and creates a dawn inside us. Yeah? So the first ray of light, the first ray of dawn. In Savitri there are those beautiful lines, if the chamber's door, chamber is our heart, is even a little ajar, what then can hinder God from stealing in? Or who forbid his kiss on the sleeping soul? So Marich can be that first kiss of God on the sleeping soul, which wakes us up to dawn and the spiritual day. So the lines by Sri Aurobindo are, this is not Savitri, it's just from his writing. In some faint dawn, in some dim eve, like a gesture of light, like a dream of delight, thou comest nearer and nearer to me. So it's man telling God, man telling the sun. In some faint dawn, the dawn is yet faint because I don't have the vision to see the full sunrise yet. In some dim eve, in some dim sunset hour, like a gesture of light, the God touch is like a gesture of light. God's kiss on the sleeping soul is like a gesture of light. Like a gesture of light, like a dream of delight, thou comest nearer and nearer to me. In some faint dawn, in some dim eve, like a gesture of light, like a dream of delight, thou comest nearer and nearer to me. So let's be with Marichaye. So let's shut our eyes, and maybe we are grappling with some night within us, some unhappiness within us, some fear of loss or grief or sadness, whatever. Now visualize this as the night within us, and the first ray of light, the sun giving out the first finger of light like a gesture of light, and the darkness starts receding. And then the dawn sunlight claims the sky. So this mantra is my call for my night to be transformed into the day. The alchemist sun within me to rise and transform the darkness within me into daylight. So let's chant it with this aspiration. To make it real, actually think of a darkness you're grappling with and invite the light of the Marich into it. Marichaye Namah. Marichaye And then a japa without sound. Keep offering this particular darkness to the light of this mantra to be transformed. And we continue. We come to the next mantra, Om Adityaya Nama. So Aditi is the Divine Mother. Adityaya means of the mother, belonging to the mother. So the sun in the sky is a child of the mother, right? Adityaya, Aditya Putra, the son of the mother. And as we said, whatever is true for the sun in the sky is true for the sun within us. So sometimes if we've not had a very happy relationship with our parents and we feel my roots are in darkness and I feel I wish I'd been loved more, I wish my mother had been different, my father had been different, this mantra reminds me that my real parent is Aditi, the Divine Mother, that my real kinship is with light. My roots are not in darkness, my roots are in the eternal light. I'm a child of Aditi. She is my primal, my first and last parent. Other parents are incidental, they are on the way and we are very grateful to them, but my real parent is her. So this mantra helps me to reclaim my kinship with light. It makes me feel empowered in the sense that I don't belong to darkness. Whatever my family roots, whatever, but even if it's dark, I don't belong to that. My kinship is with light. Okay? So see the sun in the sky, shut your eyes. Oh wait, we haven't done the passage on Aditi. Oh yeah, gorgeous words. This is on the Divine Mother. The she referred to is the Divine Mother. She is the force that makes the whole universe spin, the inevitable word, the word that has to be obeyed. The whole universe obeys the word of the Mother. She is the force, the inevitable word. This is Savitri, page 314. The magnet of our difficult ascent. So we've seen how a magnet lifts something, right? It can't lift itself, but if it's made of metal and a magnet touches it, it rises up and then it can be lifted. So Mother is the magnet of our difficult rise. We find it very difficult to rise spiritually, but she is the magnet that pulls us up. This reminds me a personal sharing, but when I was barely, 20 and I hadn't found the Mother yet, I was going through my own stuff and I was a little going through a patch of unhappiness, and that night I went to sleep unhappy and I had a dream that I saw this lady fully white, in white clothes with a white veil on her face, and she was high up and there was some black animal chasing me and I'm running from it, and then I see this lady and she seems out of my reach. I don't know how to reach her, and there's as if a magnetic force which is just pulling me to her. I remember that so vividly in my dream. I'm being pulled towards her, away from those animals chasing me. And I remember thinking she has a gift for me in her hand. She was holding something in her hand. And I remember thinking she has a gift for me. I thought that and my eyes opened. So I don't know if I got that gift. But really, so for me it's so touching that when I didn't even consciously know her, she knew me and she was having my back. And that's true for all of us, even whether we consciously recognize her or not. I found her much later, and later on I'm thinking it must have been the mother. But I didn't know any concept of even the Divine Mother, forget this embodied form, but I wasn't even consciously aware of a Divine Mother in those days. So, she is the force, the inevitable word, the magnet of our difficult ascent, the sun from which we kindle all our suns. That's what, no? She is the ultimate sun from which we kindle all our suns. The light that leans from unrealized vasts, the joy that beckons from the impossible, the might of all that never yet came down. Such beautiful words. So now connect with the sun in your heart in the sense of your kinship with light. I'm a child of light. I do not belong to darkness. Just this morning, one of my students after class shared something so beautiful. She's going through a very troubled time, and she shared that I sat with myself and I said that my whole energy field belongs to the Mother. No darkness can enter this energy field. And just that gave her the willpower to force away the darkness. I belong to light. I belong to the Mother. Darkness has no room for me. So with that sense, Om Adityaya Namah. Adityaya Namah. Adityaya Namah. Adityaya Namah. And stay with this mantra in your heart, a japa without sound, that sense of belonging to light so strongly that there's no room for darkness in me. So this was the 9th Surya Mantra. We'll stop here. Maybe the remaining 3 we'll take next time. But let's chant all these 9 Surya Mantras. So hands in a Namaste. Feel the sun in your heart. I'll say the middle word and we'll chant the mantra. The first 6 we did last time. Those of you who missed it, you can catch the recording. Mitraya. Mitraya Namah. Ravaye. Ravaye Namah. Suryaya. Suryaya Namah. Bhanave. Bhanave Namah. Khagaya. Khagaya खगगाय नमः पूषणे ॐ पूषणे नमः हिरण्यगर्भाय ॐ हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः मरीचये ॐ मरीचये नमः आदित्याय ॐ आदित्याय नमः three ohms. Om